On our debut yesterday, we showed you a little behind the scenes of how On Cue came to be.
And I just wanted to show you what Mayor Esper gave us. Our first official T-shirt, the waterfront.
Well, that's good, with all the
Smokestacks.
Yeah. Thank you. I always like seeing the stuff behind the scenes, like behind the music on VH1 or behind the scenes on HBO.
And what the viewers want, such as you, the viewers get. Here is behind the scenes of On Cue.
Never seen Aaron with a bag.
Every single day, especially on Fridays, to tune into this program.
Joey,
This week is going to be really crazy. Don't record to the
There'll be no pad between that and the piece.
hey.
Television production is 10% inspiration and 90% preparation. And we've been preparing for weeks.
You guys, I'm redoing.
Everything you see and hear on the program, all the music, all the graphics, all the video, even the furniture, literally didn't exist a month ago. It's all brand new, from the minds of the brand new On Cue staff.
I wanted to finish my question. Okay, that's Patty. Quaylen, we're doing Ramadan. Exactly what is it, you know, we're going to take you through the day of a family who's celebrating Ramadan, and we're going to, hopefully we'll start there at sundown and be there to sunset when they're eating, and then breaking bread, and what's it like to go through the day with his family, you know, maybe get some of that nice natural sound music.
Step one, of course, was content. What was On Cue going to be about? Well, we needed to choose stories, research them, schedule them, then assign them to our reporter or one of our 20 contributors. They fanned out all over Western Pennsylvania, getting stories on videotape and in the can.
Yeah, tell me, who are these people?
Step two, writing and editing.
So what I'm doing is the video that we shot on the Hill District, I have to look at it first before I write it. And the various pictures and interviews that I watch here, I type into the computer so we know what we have, and it helps me to write, and it helps the editor to cut the videotape.
Editing's all in the details. It's really tricky, and it takes a lot of time to make all of the images and the music, the sound that's on the tape, production audio, the narration, for all that to work at the same time can be really difficult, and could take days just for a little 2-3 minute piece.
And it can take months for a staff to bond and learn to work together.
The show's going to be wonderful. Me and the little woman here, we're having a good time.
In our case, it didn't take long at all.
Oh!
Oh, don't get that!
Quick kiss when you get out of there.
Whenever Mike develops an attitude, we flip the switch and it makes him green.
I saw it and I thought, wow.
It's going to be uncomfortable.
And that's how we keep our reporters in check.
Ah, teamwork. Okay, back to work. Step three, graphics, starting with the logo.
And I wanted to break out of our traditional television mode, which people think that PBS is sort of passé kind of television experience. And so I took the television kind of symbol, which is the sort of rectangular thing with the rounded corners, and then started to alter that, and then tried to figure out how the cue would fit into that. Some people call it the guitar pick, other people call it the fish head.
Here is one of the mini openings for Jay Abt that we've been working on, and getting all the footage and all the little faces onto pieces that we're working on.
Hundreds of little details, and some big details.
That's a very cool opening shot. How far out can he get from there and then push in?
I'm stunned how wide he can get from the position where he is right now.
Don, how wide can you get from that spot?
Once the shots were blocked, we rehearsed some of the more lively elements of the show. Thanks to local bands Mush Cup and the Fuzzy Comets. And if you think that's rowdy, check out the rehearsals for our Friday Fearsome Foursome. It's Fred Hansberger, Lynn Cullen, Alan Cox, and Jerry Boyer who will get the conversation rolling through the month of January.
Ask them how long it was taking.
Final step? Practice. Hi, I'm Carol Lee Espy.
And I'm Chris Moore.
And practice.
Okay, let's do that again.
Good evening, I'm Carol Lee Espy.
And I'm Chris Moore.
One more time.
Hi, and welcome to night 2 of On Cue. And practice.
Day 2. I'm not mugging anymore because I know what you're going to do with this.
That's a wrap.
Well, that's how it's done.
Oh, they're dangerous.
Yes, they are. They can be. Well, we talked about music, too, so now it is time to meet the men behind the On Cue music.
Every Tuesday and Thursday, On Cue will feature a live performance. Carol is over in the performance area to introduce you to tonight's guest. Carol?
Hi, thanks, Chris. I am thoroughly embarrassed, but joining me now is Jim DeSpirito, along with Dave Hanner and Randy Venturini. Jim and Dave wrote the music for On Cue. Jim is probably best known, though, for being the percussionist of Rusted Root. And I loved the On Cue theme music so much that I married him. But that has nothing to do with how he got the job.
Powerful.
Now, can you explain how that happened?
Yeah, actually it involved Dave too. We had worked on a piece of music for a film that we submitted to a music supervisor in LA, and a producer from On Cue heard the music and liked it. And we also worked on 5 pieces for a local health care provider, and they heard all 6 of those pieces and asked if we wanted the job, and we said yes.
We said yes.
Yeah.
And of course, you know Dave Hanner. We're a little familiar with one of the songs that you hear running a lot on Cue, or not on Cue, but on WQED. You hear it quite a bit. It's a tiny little theme song. Can you play that for us?
My most famous piece.
Yes, we can.
Eaton Park's the place for smile.
See? Now you know. Anyway, we thought it would be interesting to hear the different variations that you hear and how they came about to be written. And what would you like to do now? What would be a nice...
This is kind of a stripped down version of it. How we started was we kind of just sat in the studio, and I laid down a lot of percussion tracks. We used a lot of different instruments, African instruments and Indian instruments, and some hip...
Jim had the chord progression all laid out too.
Yeah.
And then he invited me over and said, why don't you try some melodies on top of this?
Yeah.
I think about the 3rd or 4th piece we came up with ended up being the main theme. We can play a little bit of that for you.
Yeah, could you do that?
Yeah. Play the easy
Take away
version.
here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now that sounds familiar. I think that's the music that runs over our calendar, if I'm not mistaken. Randy Venturini is a bass player that's been in Pittsburgh for quite a while. We probably know your face. Anyway, I see this little piano over here. Are you going to play this, or is that just a prop to make you look tall?
That's a prop. We actually did use that little thing to strengthen some of the melodies, and
Okay.
but I'm not going to attempt to play it. It's to hold my pop.
I could get Jim to explain exactly what this instrument is. This is the sound that you hear at the very beginning of the On Cue theme, and everybody's been asking me, what is that? So what is that?
It's called a berimbau, and it's a Brazilian instrument, a single string percussion instrument. Percussion because you whack it with this little here stick.
Didn't you tell me it's also a weapon?
It's also part of a martial arts form called capoeira.
Wow.
And they have all sorts of katas or martial arts forms and they hold this and do that.
Does that sound familiar?
1, 2, 3, 4.
thank you for being here. You livened up our set tonight. Jim and Dave and Randy are going to play our closing credits later on tonight. But first, Chris, can you tell everybody about the upcoming musical guest that we have?
Why, yes, I can. And the buzz is already out on this one. This Thursday, the Buzz Sports will be here. Now, if you don't know them yet, let me tell you, your kids probably do, and it'll make you seem so hip to sit down and watch them together.
And on Friday, for those of us my age, we have a special out-of-town guest performing live right here in our studios. Harry Connick Jr. will be here.
He's the senior on this.
Yeah, I'm the senior. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
We do have time. Do we have time to tell everyone about next week?
Sure.
Okay, I'll make it quick. Tuesday, Chatham Baroque, and Thursday, Joe Grushecki.
And that will do it for now. But don't forget about our rebroadcasts every night at 11:30 and the next day at 12:30.
You can also log onto our website at WQED.org. Click on the On Cue icon to get more information about today's show.
Well, that'll do it for now. I've always wanted to say this to these guys. Boys, can you take it away? The On Cue theme, live.
Good night.